Brothers and sisters, have you noticed that in the last few days or weeks or maybe even months, that these are difficult days to be pursuing holiness? It's hard to walk faithfully with the Lord right now. We have so many distractions and are pulled in so many directions that this is a complicated time to be a Christian. But I want to encourage you to be leaning in with Jesus, to be enduring, to be continuing to find that Jesus is better. Why? Well, one of the reasons is kind of hard. It says in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 14, "Strive for peace with everyone, and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord." Friend, leaning in and seeking the Lord is absolutely critical all the time. It's especially critical right now because the book of Hebrews chapter 12 tells us that there is a holiness of life that if we don't have it for long stretches of time, then we may in fact be revealing we never had it in the first place. Now hang on before you get scared by that. Let me take just a moment to explain. Earlier in Hebrews, in the book of Hebrews chapter 10, it tells us that Jesus' sacrifice once for all gave us a perfect holiness in our position in Christ. So we died with Christ, we rose with Christ, we've been made new in Christ, we have positional holiness. And yet, how do I know that I have that? Well, it's not mainly because when I was 11, I prayed a sinner's prayer. No, I mainly know that I have positional holiness because today, I have a desire to seek the holiness of life. In other words, there are desires within me that are not good and holy. And yet also within me, there is the desire to say no to those evil desires and to say yes to Jesus, to turn from sin and turn to Him. And the fact that after all these years, I still want Jesus, even though there's some struggle there to continue to obey Him, that gives me the confidence that the Lord is giving me endurance in Him and that I will get to see Him in the end. This is a hard concept for us, but positional holiness in Jesus Christ shows itself in a daily change of life. And so, friend, as you try to live in these COVID days, one of the things that's so important to pursue is Christ in such a way that the things you know to be wrong that you still want to be doing, you're not doing them because you're seeking Christ first. There is a holiness that we must have, and I hope you're seeking it.